Well, good evening, YouTube, and welcome to another episode of the Albino Rhino Cider Review. I know it's usually the 1,000-pound cider review, but I don't have one of my large fellas with me. And, yeah, we're just not going to open up that can of worms. Today we have a cider right here from Clafeld Fruit Winery and Cider House. This is their Elderflower Cider and Wine. Flavored cider. It is 9% alcohol. Bang. I have my new sampling glass. It's basically a chocolate fondue glass that I've turned into a sampling glass for things like this. It'll work. It'll work. It has a stem, so it's awesome, right? Right? Exactly. What do we have over here? Product of Canada. Flavored cider. Picked in Ontario. Sleep it over here. Ingredients: fermented apple and grape juice, sugar, dried elderflowers, sulfites, potassium sorbate, and then contains sulfites. I love how it has to say contains sulfites after it's already told you sulfites are in there. This is the thing with laws in North America and a lot of the other parts of the world where it's just pandering to the stupid. It's said, like, if I read the ingredients and I see sulfites, I shouldn't have to be told it contains sulfites. And then you'll get the argument, well, you know, that's just there at the end for people to quickly just look at the end and see what's there. Well, you know what? If you have food allergies and all that, you probably shouldn't just hope it's at the end, and you should actually look through the ingredients. Just saying. Now, because this is a winery, it has sulfites in it. A lot of cider house ciders that I've had, a lot of ciders from actual cider houses and not from wineries, don't always have sulfites, or when they do, it's so little that you don't really taste them. And I find that most winery ciders I have are full of sulfites. And obviously this glass was not dried properly. That's awesome. That's awesome. I even looked at it, it didn't look like there was any haze or anything, so I'm like, oh, for once she must have dried it the way I asked her to, because this one came from upstairs. It wasn't one that I've been cleaning down here with the bottle brush or anything. And yeah, no. They're disappearing off the side, so it is just watermarks and stuff being pulled off, but that's still sad. That's sad. It's a sad, sad thing. It's sad to pour your drink into something like that and get all that. I mean, there are lots of different things that can be from. Dirt, hard water, watermarks from it not drying properly, dust from it being in the basement, but it's just sad when it happens. Scent. See, the last one was the same. I had the raspberry one first, and you could just smell that like latex rubber scent from the sulfites. And this one has it too. I mean, I'm getting a little bit of an apple scent off of it. A little bit of a sweet apple scent and a little bit of a tannic apple skin scent. But that sulfite latex rubber smell is in the back of it. Yeah, even out of the little sample glass, that latex rubber scent is there. I understand why they're used. It's a preservative. It helps maintain the drink. It helps it from breaking down. But I don't know. I homebrew cider all the time. Paul homebrew cider all the time. It can age for years and not go bad. I don't understand why commercially they use it so often. Anyway, let's try it. Cheers. Doesn't smell good. Looks fine. Hey, get away from that. Go. Dogs are trying to get my sausage. I got some kielbasa down here. Okay. So, 9% alcohol. On the plus side, it hides that alcohol real good. You would not guess that it's a 9% alcohol beverage. Carbonation is fairly light, playing across your tongue. Just adds a little effervescence to the drink. Makes it a little nicer. Taste. almost like the skin of a Red Delicious and a Gala, just a little more tannic and slightly sweet. And then again, just kind of an off sweet flavor. It's not as sweet as some. It's not as sweet as some apple ciders I've had, and it's not sour. It doesn't taste like Granny Smith or anything like that. It tastes like it's just probably one of the mediocre reds, maybe even just Macintosh in there, just something that's pseudo sweet, and then a lot of tannic skin taste. Now, unfortunately for me, if that was the only flavor, I'd be perfectly fine with it. But I get that tannicness, that's off sweet. I get the off sweet first, and then this tannic taste hits the tongue, which then turns to that sulfite kind of rubbery, you just licked a beach ball type of taste. And before I get the you shouldn't be able to take that, there are some people that are aware of some things. They're sensitive to some things, so they pick it up a lot. I actually had a cider, not in the 2015, sorry, not at the 2016, but 15 Albino Rhino Beer Festival, where I drank it and I went out and I'm like, you guys put sulfites in this, don't you? And he's like, how did you know? And I go, I can just taste them. It's weird. I can taste them. That's probably one of the reasons I don't like wine all that much. It's just this kind of off rubbery taste, and then it goes back to luckily it's not so much that it overpowers it because it's there, and then it goes back to that tannic skin taste to finish it off, just dry out your palate. All in all, it's not a bad little cider. I don't really pick up the elderflower at all, and I do enjoy some elderflower liqueurs and other elderflower ciders. Not really picking it up. I mean, that could be the it's dried elderflower, so I mean that could be that one of those drying, and not because it's dried. I'm like taking drying, but I find a lot of floral, a lot of flowers and stuff in a lot of different botanicals give off a drying sensation, and I mean that drying kind of tannic, slightly earthiness on the back end could be from the elderflower. But I've always known elderflower is a little bit sweeter when it's brewed into something. Out of 10 on this, give it a 6.75. It's a solid little cider. I don't mind it. So, Clafeld's Elderflower Cider and Wine. I don't really taste the wine, to be honest with you, but I mean, what wine did they use? It's just fermented grape juice, right? It could have been a back sweetener, it could have been a filler, it could have been anything. Anyway, guys, thank you for watching. Have a wonderful evening. Go and try this cider. Tell me what you think. Cheers.